It's been about 2 weeks into cricket's World Cup. Time to look back and say, did we get any dramatic, thrilling matches? You're looking at it from India's point of view. I thought India versus Pakistan was dramatic, it was thrilling, simply because of the atmosphere that was created. It won't be reflected in the scoreboard. India versus South Africa was even more dramatic in spite of the 130-run difference between the two sides, simply because I haven't been to a ground with that kind of support, that kind of atmosphere, that kind of noise. It was just incredible being in Melbourne. From a purely playing point of view, I was very lucky to be in Brisbane. There was a very good match in Brisbane, and that was Ireland versus United Arab Emirates. And it was one of those games you don't pay too much attention to at the start of the World Cup. But Ireland had suddenly beaten the West Indies, and they were starting to have aspirations. And I just thought in that game, their aspirations got the better of them, and they struggled a little bit, just about made it towards the end. But it was a wonderful match because the emotions on display when the smaller countries are playing are completely different. Could you match the emotions of Afghanistan versus Scotland? Imagine you're Afghanistan, by the way, or Scotland, neither of you have won a game, but Afghanistan have come on a wave of emotion to this World Cup. And then to win a game was just something else. Afghanistan versus Scotland, for many people, would be the match of the World Cup, but there was one other, simply because the standard of cricket was elevated. Australia playing New Zealand. You saw Trent Boult. What it told me was that whatever the kind of cricket match, whatever the skill involved, a left-hand bowler who swings it into a right-hander is always going to create trouble. Trent Boult took 5 for 1 against what I still think is the best team in the World Cup. It was incredible. Then Brendan McCullum comes out, 150 to chase. You know, so many times you think, it's just 150, let me play myself in a little bit, 10 for no loss after 5 overs, I've got lots of time. The next thing you know is that you're in the middle of a crisis. 50 from 20 balls for Brendan McCullum against that attack. Mitchell Johnson gets taken 4 overs for 52. That assault by McCullum was among the most ferocious I have seen, even by Brendan McCullum's own standards, which are pretty lofty in this regard. And then Mitchell Starc. For a long time, I thought Starc had everything, but he'd be just another of those bowlers. And then he started to get the ball to swing in. He bowls a mean bouncer. That spell from Mitchell Starc was everything you want to see in a fast bowler at the World Cup. He told me why. Wasim Akram had said before the World Cup started that he thought Starc was the more valuable asset for Australia than Mitchell Johnson. And then a 6 to finish it off from with Steve Smith, the best young player on the planet. I know it's a big call with Virat Kohli in there, but at the moment, Kane Williamson is just batting at a different level. So my World Cup, the memories, my thoughts, sights of the first 2 weeks of the World Cup, the crowd for India versus Pakistan, the crowd for India versus South Africa, the emotion on display for Ireland versus UAE and Afghanistan versus Scotland, but just the sheer drama of Australia versus New Zealand.
If you want to stay up to date with all my video blogs, hit the subscribe button.